Hey, my Lipton. So I wanted to come with another video. It's been a minute since I did a Jodha Akbar episodes review. Because it's been a minute. I've been talking about a lot of other things, but I did want to get back to this. But before I continue, please, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Ronnie Lipton. The subscribe button is free. Just press it, press it. Let's get up to 800 subscribers. The goal is to get up to 1,000. But thank you guys so much for being here with me. Thank you guys for making the channel grow. I appreciate y'all so much. When I do these videos, I obviously do it with the utmost authenticity and genuineness, because I genuinely like this content, like the things that I watch, the people that I talk about, I enjoy it. So, and I hope all of you all enjoy it as well. But I want to get into this video. And listen, this is for the new subscribers too, the ones that do enjoy my ZTV shows, review, and my Bollywood movies review. I'll say it again, I'm a huge, especially evergreen old ZTV shows, those were I'm talking about Kasamhse, Punarviva, Jamairaja, quboolhai, Dashke Ishq, Dil Se Diavachan, and obviously Jodha Akbar, you know what I mean? So it's these are my shows, okay? These are my shows. I love these shows. And if you guys want to see some old content about previous shows that I've discussed, y'all can go to my ZTV/Bollywood movies playlist on my channel. And you guys can go see some old videos that I've done about it. And I've discussed Jodha Akbar at length. I've discussed how, I'm a huge Jodha Akbar fan. The movie, the show, just a huge fan of it. I just rewatched the movie on Netflix for the 1,000th time. So, and plus I rewatched Jodha Akbar the show over 1,000 times as well. That's how you know you're a huge ass fan. You just keep rewatching and going back to your favorite scenes. But for this video, I think the last video I did about Jodha Akbar was about Mahamanga, if I'm not mistaken, and why Mahamanga was so emboldened, in the show. But this time I do want to talk about, and this also ties into Mahamanga, but I do want to talk about the whole Atifa and Jalal storyline within the show. Now, gosh, because this kind of did give me some anxiety. I was over it. But let's just talk about as far as the brief summary in the beginning, how it led to this. So basically, fast forward, Jalal and Jodha are in love. They consummate their marriage, and I was screaming when they consummated their marriage. They finally got back together after so many hurdles within their relationship. And, they're in love. Jodha gets pregnant, and I was like, yes. And about next thing you know, she gets pregnant with twins, and I was like, yes. And I was like, yes, you better do it, Jalal. You're doing the damn thing. So everything is going good. Everything is going well. And by the next thing you know, here comes Atifa. Here comes Miss Atifa. Here comes Miss Girl. She comes out of nowhere. Feel me? Jalal and Jodha, they got into a little bit of an, argument, a little bit of a thing. Jalal wanted to go console Jodha, and he thought that Jodha was taking a shower or whatever, taking a bath. He comes in right behind her hey, girl, I see you taking a shower. What's going on here? And then Atifa turns around and it's Jalal's like, wait a minute, you're not my wife. And then Atifa was like, oh, acting all fake shocked and everything, bitch, girl, bye. So, and then Jodha walks in and she sees Jalal with Atifa in the bath. Y'all guys gotta go watch that episode. I think it was episode, and you can, by the way, if you guys want to watch Jodha Akbar, the show, it's on the Z5 app or z5.com. There is English subtitles there if you guys want English subtitles. It's episode 295, okay? So if y'all guys want to go watch that, so Z5, so ZEE5.com. So, yeah, you guys, and it's episode 295. So it was a whole mess. It was a whole mess. So we thought that, okay, that was the end of it. He made a mistake. But then at the same time, us as the audience, and even Jalal was like, first of all, who is this chick? Where did she come from? How did she? But next thing you know, Jalal, and then us as the audience, we're like, wait a minute, why is Jalal even like thinking about her? Like, maybe he's trying to find out where she came from, and then he starts drawing pictures of her because Jalal's a very like visual learner because he is illiterate, but he's a visual learner, so he's like he knows how her face looks like, so he starts to draw her. And then Miss Mama shows up at the court. Her little fringing dupatta thing flies off. Her head cover flies off. And he sees her. And he's like, that's the girl from the bath. And, it seemed all, especially for me at the time when I was watching it in real time, it was very strategic. And I knew that then because I was little. I was a child when I was watching this show. I knew even then that it was strategic. But the thing is, I didn't know. Well, it was very strategic on Atifa's part. And then on Jalal's part, I'm like, okay, like, what is Jalal doing here? Like, first of all, you said that you love Jodha. Like, yes, Jalal has listen, y'all know Jalal. Jalal has many wives. He has a harem. Yes, I understand. He's been with a lot of women. But like, Jodha is his love of his life, soulmate. Like, just, that's his girl. Like, in a way, I know at times we always give the best friend label to Ruqaiya, and I've discussed Ruqaiya on this channel too. You guys can go back to my playlist about that. But like, I also think that, obviously when you're married to somebody, you love somebody, they're also like your best friend too. So I also think that, Jalal, Jodha and Jalal were also best friends as well. Like, as they started to like each other, love each other, romantic, be romantic with each other. So Jodha was his right hand and loves her, whatever. So, but yeah, like Jalal starts acting a little bit too like fascinated with Atifa for my liking, and I was not liking that shit. Okay, I was like, okay, Jalal, what is going on here? And I still didn't want to think that Jalal was like, like starting to fall for Atifa. I'm thinking that does Jalal have like, is Jalal trying to investigate something? Like, I was confused because Jalal's behavior was starting to change. And let me just say this. At first, I did somewhat started to fall for like the whole like Jalal like turning and like starting to fall for another woman. But at the same time, I'm like, no, Jalal wouldn't do that. Like, he admit like the way, like, if y'all guys want to go back to that consummation scene with him and Jodha when they were like, he was professing his love for Jodha, like, that was like he meant that. Okay, he meant that. So I'm thinking to myself, no, Jalal would not betray Jodha like this. Like, yes, I know, I understand, he's the Shahanshah, he's the emperor, he can have as many women as he wants, but like, he cannot, he will never do this to Jodha. And then on top of that, we got to remember, Atifa, Miss Mama's right here, was also a married woman. She was married to another man. And yes, in the show, they, for the storyline reasons, they portrayed the married man to be abusive towards Atifa. And then Jalal was like going there to console her and everything like that. And don't get me wrong, at first I was like, okay, I can see why Jalal will go and protect her because it's like it's a battered woman, is a woman being abused. So it's like, he has the right. I mean, it's the right thing to do to go and protect her, especially go away, go away, go away, go away, go away. Especially as, I'm so sorry, y'all. Please forgive me for that babysitting. Especially as, the emperor, like, this is his citizen, like, he wants to protect his citizen. So, I thought to myself, okay, maybe Jalal's doing this out of sympathy. But then it started to become very weird. Like, Jalal was starting to be a little bit too involved with Atifa. And it was really rubbing. I remember the time when we were watching it, like me, my mother, like my siblings, like we were just watching the thing, and it was just so crazy. And I remember my mother was so disgusted with Jalal during this time. Like, we were pissed. But here's the thing, though. I also want to talk about Ruqaiya for a second because Ruqaiya is such a freaking snake. Like she said, I like honestly, I feel like no. If I'm gonna be honest with y'all, they should have killed Ruqaiya. And it's like I get it, they do want to keep some a little bit of historical facts in the show, but at the same time, I'm like okay, like y'all also did a lot of things that were not a part of the show. Like Atifa was not a part of historical facts. Atifa was not in the Jodha Akbar story, so y'all could have y'all did things for y'all convenience, for dramatic reasons. But honestly, they should have killed off Ruqaiya, and I said it before, and I'll say it again on the channel. They should have killed off. They should have killed off Ruqaiya. I was over her, but Ruqaiya, basically, because listen, okay, before Jodha ever married Jalal, before Jodha ever came into the picture, Ruqaiya was the favorite. Ruqaiya was the one that, even though Jalal didn't love her like in a romantic way, Jalal loved her in a friendship way. Like this was his best friend. This is someone who was his confidant. Like they get along. They like some of the same things, and that is his wife, his first wife. So Ruqaiya always had that over Jalal's head. And then on top of that, when Jalal was marrying other women and stuff like that, like Jalal always spent time with other women, and Ruqaiya didn't have an issue with that because Ruqaiya always felt like at the end of the day, I'm still Jalal's favorite. I'm still the queen consort. I still have the highest place in this harem, in the empire, that sort of thing. And Ruqaiya always knew that Jalal never loved any of the women that he was with prior to Jodha ever coming into the picture. So I think that's why Ruqaiya was always comfortable with what Jalal was doing. But then when Jodha came into the picture, she kind of caught up to like, okay, like Jalal is starting to have feelings for Jodha in a different way. Not in a friendship way. Well, she didn't want him to be friends with Jodha. She wanted Jalal to hate Jodha. Which at first that was the case, but then over time things changed. And, when it became to a point where Jalal was like in love with Jodha, Ruqaiya still couldn't stand that. She was always upset. She was always bitter. And she hated Jodha for it. And then now, Jodha is now pregnant with Jalal's heir. She's going to become Mariam Uzamani, which Ruqaiya always wanted. And so it's just like she's out for Jodha. So, of course, when Jalal starts falling in love with Miss Atifa here, Ruqaiya is salvating. Like, not salvating. She's excited. She's happy. She's like, okay, yeah, you, Jodha, this is what you get. Like, now I can get my lick back. You thought that you were special. You thought that Jalal was only gonna love you, but that's not the case. A man is always gonna be a man. He's always, once he gets you, once he has you in bed and things like that, he's your old clothes for him. And I'm paraphrasing. And he's gonna move on to the next woman. And she was really rubbing it in Jodha's skin, like just throwing salt in her wounds. And it's just like, Ruqaiya, this is why Ruqaiya, this is why you never had a child. This is why you were always miserable, always bitter. And this is why Jalal really never loved you, like in a romantic way. Like you were never his soulmate. Like you were just a friend. He loved you as a friend, and that's it, because it's like, and he can never go any further with you because you always loved the position and not the person. That's your issue, Ruqaiya. So let me go into that. So when Jalal was professing his love for the Atifa and saying that he was going to marry Atifa, even though Atifa was a married woman, and then they were saying that, Jalal, what you're doing is a sin. You can't marry a married woman. You will have to abdicate your throne. And then Jalal was just like, I don't give an F. I'm going to marry the woman that I love, even though she's a married woman. At the end of the day, all my wives that I have married prior to Atifa, I've always married for political reasons. I married because I was forced to marry. I married because they were my best friends. But Atifa is the one that I'm marrying someone that I actually want to marry at first. Like the love didn't have to grow over time. So that's when Ruqaiya all of a sudden wants to have a problem with it. Like, oh my God, no, Jalal can, abdicate his throne for Atifa because I'm not going to be queen anymore. I'm not going to be queen consort. And I remember Jodha, and this is one of the times where I was just like so proud of Jodha. Jodha was like, Ruqaiya, and you see, this is the problem with you. And to this day, I still don't understand, especially after this storyline incident, how Ruqaiya, it didn't click for Ruqaiya. Jodha was like, listen, you see, this is why Jalal is like, he keeps you on one side. He doesn't even really take you seriously like that to put you in the soulmate conversation. Is because you only care about titles, you only care about position, you only care about being queen. You never cared about the person. You never cared about Jalal as a human being. And this is why, Jalal never really loved you in a romantic way. So it's like, Ruqaiya was like, no, but that's all you can have, and you're supposed to have title, you're supposed to have status and stature. Ruqaiya gets on my nerves. So it was this whole thing. And y'all, at first, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was sort of kind of believing, like, okay, like, is Jalal really gonna, like, do this? Like, is he really? Because I was confused. I'm like, maybe this is strategic. Maybe Jalal is doing this to be. I still wasn't sure. Like, I was 50-50. I was like, is Jalal being serious right now? Like, is he being that ass? But at the same time, like, no, there's Jodha Akbar. Like, Jodha and Jalal are supposed to be endgame, and like, they're supposed to be the ones in love. And it's like, Jalal can't do this. Like, is something happening here? Is something that we're not privy to? And of course, there was a lot of in between situations, of course, with the whole Khyber thing, with that giant, and that's a whole different conversation, y'all, on the chat. I don't know if I should talk about it. I wasn't too interested in that storyline, but it did mix with some dramatic television. The whole Machu Chuck thing, Queen Machu Chuck, and that situation also played in between, where it's like Jalal sort of still showed that he kind of cared for Jodha, but at the same time, it's like he kept running to Atifa. And I'm just like, listen, Jalal, what do you see in this broad? Like, it's just like, she's not even as better looking as Jodha. Like, what do you see in her? Like, what is going on, Jalal? So fast forward, Jalal says that he's going to marry Atifa. He's going to abdicate his crown. If he has to, it is what it is. And there was this one scene, I forgot what episode it was. Y'all guys can go watch it. Ruqaiya wanted to box Atifa up a little bit. She wanted to put some hands on Atifa. And then Jalal came and screamed at Ruqaiya, you always been jealous of my queens. You're so annoying. Da 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 da. And then Jodha comes and was like, you better not talk to Ruqaiya like that. You better not talk to her like that. She's your first wife. And then Jalal was like, oh, here you go, Jodha. Here you go. I knew you were coming. You always gotta put your mouth into something. You always gotta put your mouth into something. But you know what, Jodha? After I abdicate this throne, after I marry Atifa, I'm gonna divorce you. I remember me and my family at the time when we were watching this, we were just like, oh Lord, oh Lordy, oh Lordy, oh my God, Jalal, what is going on here, Jalal? What is going on here, Jalal? Okay, fast forward. It's to the wedding part. Jalal's really about to marry Atifa. And the wedding is going. And I'm like, okay, something's going to happen. Because it's like, this can't be true. Like, what is going on here? No, I'm sorry. What happened is before the wedding, the day before the wedding, Jodha saying, like, Jalal saying he's going to divorce Jodha. Whatever, Jodha said, okay, I'm going to leave. Even though, mind you, Jodha is pregnant right now with twins. So it's like, it's crazy. Jalal, mind you, the day before the wedding, Jalal is saying, okay, all lines have been crossed. And he's talking to himself, enough is enough. It's time for me to reveal the truth. And we're just like, and then I remember my sister was just like, she was just like, oh my God, Jalal, he faked it. It's not true. He doesn't really love Atifa. This is all fake. We were going crazy. We were like, okay, what is going to happen in the next episode? What is going to happen? So the wedding comes, right? Jalal is standing there. But then again, it doesn't also seem like it's Jalal because it's like his face is fully covered. You can tell Jalal when you see him. Like, with the flowers on his face. Atifa takes the knife and slices the groom across his throat. We were like, what the hell is going on? You see Mahamanga in the background. Her freaking jaw just drops. We were going crazy. We were just like, whoa. And then Atifa reveals herself into being, like, saying that Atifa is not her real name. Her name is, what's her name? Sakiya or Sakana? Whatever her name is. I honestly, I don't care. And it turns out her and her husband, not Jalal, But like her and her abusive husband actually made this plan to assassinate Jalal, all these different things. And then Jodha comes and was just like, oh my God, Atifa, why would you do that? Why would you kill Jalal? He was your husband. And then, so whatever, Sakina, whatever her name was, who pretended to be Atifa, was like, listen, like, my name is not Atifa, my name is Sakina. So technically speaking, I didn't really get married to Jalal. He's not my husband. Da 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 da. But the next thing you know, I wish I had her picture. I wish I had her picture here. Mahamanga comes. She starts moving forward a little bit. She's crying. She was like, Sakina, why would you kill Jalal? Why would you kill him? Like, she was like, why would you kill him? He's someone, I raised him as a baby, so now he's my son. Why would you kill him? And she was like, you were not supposed to kill Jalal. That was the plan. And then she smacks Atifa across her face. Atifa, aka Sakina, slaps her across her face. She was like, you were only supposed to marry Jalal and make him abdicate the throne. You weren't supposed to kill him. I told you not to kill him. I told you to leave Jalal to me. Why would you do that? So it turns out Mahamanga was the mastermind into bringing Atifa to the palace, because Mahamanga thought that, Jalal, he only cares about women. He doesn't care about, the empire. He doesn't care about her. So it's like he thought that, she was going to lure Jalal to abdicate his crown and all these different things. Mahamanga was crying and screaming. She was like, on top of Jalal's body with all this blood. She was like, oh my God, Jalal, I didn't want you to die. I didn't want them to kill you. She was like, Jalal, I thought that you weren't a good leader anymore. And, I just wanted you to abdicate. I didn't want you to be killed. And then Jodha, you see, I guess you've seen Jodha. Jodha was ready to fight. She was like, I'm going to kill Mahamanga right now with my bare hands. And she was marching. Oh, y'all need to go watch that episode. I think it was episode, oh my gosh, that episode was crazy. Let me see what episode it was. I think it was episode 312. 312. It's like between 312 and 313. Jodha was like, I'm gonna go kill this woman. She was about to go charge after Mahamanga. And then one of Atifa's abusive husband trips Jodha. By the next thing you know, Jalal comes in for the save and saves Jodha from falling on top of her belly. And then Jalal starts, it turns out Jalal was in a disguise. Even though that's a whole other comment, it's like you use somebody else to take your place as a groom. And you were disguising yourself. So Jalal was like, if you would have harmed my wife, my Jodha, I would have dragged the shit out of you. Okay? Jalal was ready. So then Mahamanga was like, at first Mahamanga was happy to see Jalal alive. She was like, oh my God, Jalal. And then he was like, Mahamanga, you stay over there. I'm about to fight these guys. Jalal starts fighting. He's fighting. So he exposes Mahamanga for bringing Atifa to the palace. He exposes Mahamanga for imprisoning his older sister's mother. He was just like, Mahamanga, at this point, I thought that you would change. I thought that you would be a better human being after what you did to Jodha, but it turns out you've been plotting against me all this time. All you wanted is power. So at this point, what kind of punishment do you want? And then Mahamanga was like, oh, just kill me. Even though personally, I feel like he should have killed her. But no, Jalal was like, nah, I'm not going to kill you. You can kill me, but I'm not going to kill you. So he's like, you know what? Take her to the dungeons, lock her ass up. I'm over her. Get her out of my face. At first, I took away her titles. I took away her position. But now, she wouldn't act like a goddamn fool. Put her in the dungeons. And I honestly, personally, I would have killed her. Chopped, slice and dice that head up. But it is what it is. Put her in the dungeon, And Atifa, Miss Mamas, you ended up going into the dungeons as well. You and that fake ass husband, you really tried that. You really thought that Jalal was really in love with you. When he's really in love with my girl, Jodha Queen Malika Hind. Okay? You really try to get Jalal away from Jodha. You really thought that was gonna happen? No, Jalal is really in love with Jodha. That is his soulmate. That is his partner in crime. That is the love of his life. You really tried it, Atifa. You really thought that you were gonna get Jalal away from Jodha? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Child, so, Jodha was upset at first at Jalal for doing that, for not telling him and everything, like, for him not telling her all that was happening. She was just like, nah, I'm not trying to talk to you because you really try to make it seem as if you weren't in love with me, that you wanted to divorce me. I was going through all this stress with you. Mind you, I'm pregnant with your twins. And you got that, what I mean? So Jalal was like, oh, I didn't want to put you into it. I didn't want to put you in danger, da 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 da. And I was just like, oh my God, you know what? Jodha, just forgive him. Just forgive him. Things happen. Things happen. It's okay. Things happen. Sometimes Jalal, even though he's crazy as hell, there's a little bit of Jalal that's a little bit, not right here, up here. But, they end up making up. And of course, we can talk about the whole Mahamanga curse and her cursing Jodha and Jalal's twins. That's a whole different other video that I'm gonna discuss. But yeah, I just want to talk about the Atifa storyline for this video. But yeah, like I said, Jodha and Jalal for life. They're endgame. Love them down. And Ruqaiya really thought that, Jalal really didn't love Jodha anymore. Like, girl, like this is different, sweetie. There's not like Jalal being with other women. Like Jodha is different for him. So that's just my little rundown with the Jalal and Atifa storyline and what happened there. But y'all guys, please tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Did you guys love the storyline? Did you guys like, what happened here? The fact that Mahamanga turned out to be the mastermind with this whole thing. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get up to 800 subscribers. The goal is to get up to 1,000. I love y'all guys so much. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.